Hey guys, welcome to the J Scored Horror Podcast. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jake.
And on today's episode, we are going to be going over
Night of the Living Dead, 1990, directed by Tom Savini.
Tom Savini.
Yeah.
What is his nickname?
I have no idea, actually.
It's like the King of Splatter or something of that nature.
That sounds right, sure.
Yeah. So we actually met Mr. Savini.
We did.
When we went to Texas Frightmare weekend.
Yeah.
When we went a couple weeks ago now.
Yeah, for all you YouTube watchers.
Yeah. All you YouTube watchers, there's the picture we got signed.
Yeah.
From Mr. Tom Savini himself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He wasn't the most exciting person to meet in the world, especially when we met Dick Warlock after that. But we did get to do a really cool Q&A with him, and I think that ultimately led up to the decision to do this episode.
Yeah, when we initially met him,
Yeah, it was like he wouldn't shake my hand, give me some nucks, which, I mean, COVID, like, cool.
Yeah, he told you to be healthy.
Yeah, he said that was actually his exact line, be healthy. And I asked him to sign it to Josh, and he said, fuck no. So that was super humiliating. But hey, here we are. Night of the Living Dead 1990 remake, which got the George A. Romero stamp of approval.
Boom.
Being that, excuse me, you are not. Mentioned this during the Shaun of the Dead episode, but I'm really trying here, guys, to bring Jake into the zombie world. And so far, I've done Shaun of the Dead and now Night of the Living Dead, the 1990 remake. And how are you feeling, man? Are you feeling any better towards zombie movies? Are you still the same? Like, what you thinking over there, bud?
I'm still the same. I'm not a fan of zombie movies. They are boring. Zombies are boring. They walk super slow. There's no real reason to why they're zombies, or no dedicated reason to how to kill zombies.
Well, there is a dedicated reason on how to kill them, but not how they were created.
What is?
Bash them in the head.
That always works?
Destroy the, yes.
Every single time?
Every single time.
In every zombie movie you've ever seen?
Yes.
That's always the reason?
Yes.
Okay, I don't believe that.
Yeah. Take out the brain, and then you kill the zombie. You guys can fact check me on that.
But if they're already dead... And I thought during the autopsies they take your brain out. What do you mean destroy the brain? It's already gone, isn't it?
We talked about this during Shaun of the Dead, and I never even looked it up.
I didn't either, but
we should have.
I just assume their brain is gone.
Yeah, it's theoretically speaking, for most zombie films, it is some type of parasite or disease or something unnatural that makes the dead come back to life via this issue that controls the brain and gives you animalistic qualities of a hunger for flesh. Now, I don't know why the fuck they decided to go with brains all of a sudden in certain movies, but ultimately they're just flesh eaters because there is no human in them. They are just a flesh hungry beast. But because
like why though?
Of the parasite, it travels from host to host.
Okay, sure. All right. Well, this is a remake, obviously.
Yes.
Of George A. Romero's original movie, Night of the Living Dead. If you had to compare the two, you've seen the original one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course I have.
Which one do you like better?
Oof. The iconicness of what he did in 1968 is almost untouchable because George A. Romero ultimately created zombies.
Okay.
Like the modern idea of zombies. Like obviously there were like crazy like mummy theories and stories and stuff like that because a mummy is basically just a zombie with different rules. Is it not? It's the undead living.
Sure, go ahead.
The basic premise of a zombie. Now mummies and zombies differ hugely, but I think prior to George A. Romero, that this concept of a flesh-eating corpse that rises and eats people, never heard of, never done before. And now it is blown up into this huge phenomena of The Walking Dead, Shaun of the Dead. You got the 28 days, 28 weeks later. You got all of these different types of zombies. You got World War Z, all sorts of crazy stuff. Okay. So ultimately, I don't think I can pick a favorite, because they're almost like a shot-for-shot remake, unfortunately.
Well, you can pick one.
You can't.
You can pick one, though.
Because I enjoyed watching this one, but I give the nod to George A. Romero's original one.
So you choose the original one, though?
I don't know, man.
Just pick one.
All right. If I gun to the head,
Yeah.
had to pick one.
You do?
I'm going the original.
Okay. All right.
Because you know what, Jake's my buddy. He's obviously a good friend of mine through this podcast and just life. But I kind of agree with him when you say if you like it, just watch the original.
There you go.
Now with this though, I actually wrote this down when I was doing some some research outside.
Okay.
Tom Savini himself said, "Forget about the original."
What do you mean?
He said, "If you're so stuck on the original, just fucking forget about it. This is its own movie."
No, it's not.
But in order to enjoy certain things, just fucking forget about the other one. Just watch it for it being a film.
Okay.
I just thought it was really cool because we've mentioned it so many times on the podcast.
Sure.
And like 3 minutes into the video I was watching, he said that, and I was like, I gotta write that shit down. I gotta write that shit down. Like, a fucking horror icon who remade a movie himself said that shit, and I was like, I'm gonna bring it on the mic.
Forget about the original.
Yeah. But I mean, ultimately, it's like, all right, so there is new content. This was I can't do basic math, but 68 to 90 is a couple years. 22 years. I'm only 30, bro. That's a lifetime.
It is.
So I do understand where he's coming from, where it's just like, but at the same time, I'm sorry, Tom, if you ever watch this podcast, but that's bullshit.
Which of course you will.
Because you made a shot-for-shot remake of the original, basically.
Is it shot for shot, though?
It's not shot-for-shot. It is just the exact same premise.
Okay.
I mean, think about the characters.
So is it a reimagining?
Yeah, I would say it's a reimagine. Not even. I would give it more of... No, it's just a copy. Because the characters are way too similar. From the race to the style to everything. And 1968 versus 1990 are completely different eras of people. So, like, to stick with certain tropes or, like, ideas in that seemed a little far-fetched.
Okay.
In a sense. Because what George A. Romero did in 68 was kind of, like, shunned. Like, people were like, that's not cool, dude. Yeah. I mean, he had a black lead.
Yeah.
In 68.
Well,
that was killed not being a zombie. At least in this one, they made him a damn zombie.
Yeah, which kind of...
In the original...
It made sense in this one to kill him.
Yeah. In the original, they just shoot a black dude.
Or... I mean, that's very true.
That's ultimately... Because, like, I watched a video... I think it was Eli Roth's History of Horror, where they talk about how a lot of times zombie movies depict the history that they're in. So in Night of the Living Dead, the remake in the mall, that's about consumerism. That's why they're trapped in a mall. It's a super subplot of the plot. But they say that a lot of zombie movies will actually bring in what's going on in the world. And I imagine, I mean, neither one of us were alive in 1968, but racism and those problems were a big, big problem.
Yeah, which I get. And I know George A. Romero will say he didn't mean to have that racial understanding. Do you believe that?
He says he didn't mean to, but I think if you know, it's like I hung out with George A. Romero. I think if you like met George A. Romero, he genuinely meant that. Like,
you think so?
Yeah, I really do.
Like he meant that he didn't
mean it.
Okay, yeah.
It was just the story that he wanted to go with, but then everybody's like, holy shit,
yeah,
dude.
Because honestly, if that Ben character was white and they played out the exact same way,
nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't make the same historical impact that it did in 1968.
Yeah, which is true. With all that being said, I prefer the 1990 version.
Okay.
I do. I think
you didn't even let me ask, so thanks, asshole.
Yeah, well, you were taking too long, so I thought I'd just say it.
Oh, finally, Josh shares some fucking wisdom over here, and I get in trouble. So you do prefer the 1990 remake?
Yeah.
What are your reasonings for it?
It's going to sound super simple, but one, I enjoy movies that are in color. I don't like black and white movies.
Fun fact: Tom Savini's original intent was to start in black and white and work to color.
Oh, I'm glad he didn't.
That's what he wanted to do.
That's
another little note I wrote down.
That would have sucked. Well, and I like that the Barbara character.
Yeah.
In this one, dude,
she's a badass.
Yeah, she blows original Barbara out the water.
The fact that we didn't mention her in Final Girl episode really hurts my heart right now.
It doesn't hurt me at all.
It does me. After watching this now.
Well, no, because you can't.
She's a really good Final Girl.
You can't add her and say, yeah, Barbara from Night of the Living Dead 1990.
You could.
Nah.
She's a final girl.
Nah.
She's a really good final girl.
Well, the character of Barbara in the original one, don't she die?
Mm-mm.
You sure?
Been a while.
I'm pretty sure she dies.
I shit you not. I think it's been 10 years since I watched that one.
Okay. It's been like more for me, but I'm like 90% sure she dies. Because the way she was in such a dull, lost state of mind the entire movie, I'm sure she died. If she didn't, I'd be very surprised. But this new one, she was like Ellen Ripley from Alien.
You know, also something interesting that
What?
I learned from my research
What?
is that's what Savini was going for
Holy shit,
with
really?
this character. Dude.
What?
Yes. So Savini in 1990 was like, how the fuck do I make this Barbara character better? So he picked that actress, and he was like, who is somebody that he would want to imitate or resemble? And immediately they thought of Alien.
I don't blame them. I do not blame them.
So it says that Barbara is revealed to be alive in the Night of the Living Dead. Genesis.
Get the fuck. What? Genesis?
What is Genesis?
What is that?
This is why Google sucks.
Yeah.
She regains consciousness.
I mean, according to you, only boomers like Google.
I was trying to do some on-the-spot podcast research here, man. So one thing that I really wanted to... we've kind of dove in before, and this isn't comparing original to this one because I think in the original it was very practical effects as well. Me personally, one of the reasons I enjoyed this zombie movie so much, being that it's from 1990 and it has the King of Splatter himself directing it, I think they did an absolutely phenomenal job with the practical effects.
Practical effects are always the way to go, and nothing will change my mind.
Nothing will change my mind either. But I'm saying, like, 1990, zombie movie,
Yeah.
Tom Savini.
Yeah.
They knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, well, it's Tom Savini, so
He's the King of Splatter.
they better knock it out of the park.
I mean,
The only issue I really had with the movie is,
yeah, what issues did you have with it?
dude, some parts
The pacing?
were super slow and super boring.
Well, yeah.
Which is some parts, which is crazy because the original, that's like,
The whole movie.
the whole movie is so boring.
That's the problem with the original. It's like
it's a
it's
good
a
movie,
great film.
But you have to fully engage the entire movie.
You have to watch it like 4:00 in the afternoon with a full cup of espresso in your hand,
with nothing else to do.
like nothing else to do. That's this one. I gotta say, if you were to compare original to this one's a lot easier to follow.
Yeah, for sure.
Because not black and white. I hate saying it because there are phenomenal black and white horror or just films in general. It's not saying that black and white takes away from cinema because it's needed, and it was not needed. It was just the way it was.
Yeah, I
don't think it was needed, but it was the way it was. And there's still phenomenal films out there, black and white.
Yeah, they just don't interest me at all.
But with that said, this movie is paced slightly better. And the practical effects, unfortunately, were great, but were not what was supposed to be in this film. So that gets me to my next topic.
Oh, God.
What?
We were at the convention
Yeah.
and hearing Tom Savini talk about this movie.
Yeah.
And pretty much the long-ass movie that he wanted to make.
Yeah.
Compared to what they actually made. This was probably the better choice, I feel like.
I'm not saying that, like, because obviously we have the Q&A that we did with Tom Savini in our heads. But this goes back to my constant argument of ratings potentially ruining horror movies.
Okay.
Because if Tom Savini, even though if they had to cut some stuff out, ultimately, I think the ending was supposed to be a lot different, and some of the kills were supposed to be like actually on-scene kills.
Okay, on-screen kills and more gore would not have made this movie any better, though. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, because it's not, but it wouldn't have taken it. Let's say, if you think 1 out of 10 is an 8.
You don't think it would be put up to a 9?
No.
I do.
Based on more gore?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
It's a zombie movie. The fact that Shaun of the Dead has more gore in it than Night of the Living Dead from Tom Savini, the Splatter King.
It's a horror comedy.
The King of Splatter. But it's a horror comedy, Shaun of the Dead is, and it's newer. But it just, I honestly think that like ratings can really mess up artists'
and rating
abilities.
Has also changed between the 14 years between this movie and Shaun of the Dead.
It's probably gotten tighter.
You think so?
Probably. Okay. I don't know. I'm not a rating expert.
Yeah.
Well, you just shit on my thing. So.
I mean, I don't.
Jesus Christ, dude! I thought that would be a really fun topic. Shit, I was wrong. Jake disagrees. Fuck.
I don't disagree, but
rewind.
No, I'm just saying I don't think it would have improved the movie at all. Would it have been nice to see? Yeah, because
as a horror fan, just as a horror fan alone,
or as a fan of Tom Savini, he's known for that.
Yeah, he's known for the splatter.
Yeah, so for him to have more of that, that's great. But at the same time, it kind of typecasts Tom Savini also as well.
It's not a typecast when it's a skill set like that, though. That, like Tony Todd.
Okay, yeah,
he's a typecast.
Yeah, he's typecast
because he's a better actor than what we get to see.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it in this movie. He's a phenomenal fucking actor.
For all we know, Tom Savini could be a better director.
But I think the ability for him to have full creative control would release that side of his directing. I bet you. I mean, he didn't say this per se, but don't you think that probably led into why he decided not to keep directing and just stick to makeup?
Here's my thing: if you want more control, make an original movie.
I agree
with your own plot.
I agree.
And your own kills.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you are actually, round of applause for that comment right there, because I actually agree. Like, Savini,
thank you. You're
great. I met you. You're dope. I sat for 3 hours on your documentary and your Q&A. It was an amazing experience. I'm not knocking your skill. I'm not knocking what you did create.
Yeah, of course not.
But why not do an original? You still can. You're still relevant. You can still do a movie.
Nah, I think Tom Savini's time has passed.
I do not.
As far as him releasing...
I think he could direct an original.
An original content from Tom Savini?
Yeah, man. Why not?
No.
I'm sticking by it. I really do think so.
Okay, well...
He's been in the horror game for so long, there's no way he can't come up with like one original idea. There's no way. We come up with shit. We've just been watching this shit.
Yeah, but we haven't been in the game for 40 years.
That's true.
And like an active part of it.
I guess I'm hopeful for it. I would be hopeful that, I just wish that Tom Savini would have had a chance to do an original. And it's not like nobody gave him a chance. I'm not sure.
He did have a chance, I'm assuming. And he chose to do this instead.
I don't think so. I think they asked for him to do this.
So you think the legend Tom Savini,
yes,
was asked to make a movie, let's say,
yeah,
and he chose to remake something else?
Yes.
Why?
Because he was such a big fan of it. I really do think so.
Well, I know he was
stupid as that sounds.
He was supposed to work on it originally,
but he went to Nam.
Yeah. So we thought,
So he probably felt like he missed an opportunity for such an epic movie. So holy shit, I have control now.
Yeah, he missed on this one too.
He did not miss on this one.
He did miss on this one too.
He did a good job.
He had the chance.
He did a good job. You said you enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie. But
you said you enjoyed it better than the original.
I did. What I'm saying, from the concept of Tom Savini having the chance to make original content and to go down as someone other than doing special effects, he missed his opportunity.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I got you.
Yeah,
okay.
the movie's good.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I missed that part. I agree, actually, because I guess if Tom Savini would have grabbed a hold of an original idea when he was in his prime, it probably would have been a phenomenal film.
And I know he said he had a terrible experience.
Yeah,
directing this movie.
Yeah,
it probably deterred him.
Also, he was
doing a lot of stuff moving forward
through the Q&A. It was a lot of personal stuff. He was going through like a divorce and a lot of stuff. So,
which I totally get. Which would deter anybody.
Yeah, thankful that he still finished the project at hand. But, so do you remember the scene where the really skinny bald zombie comes through the window, shirtless?
Yeah.
I think I'm right here. Okay. I'm not sure, but that was one of the first times that they used practical effects on a shirtless person, as far as gunshot wounds.
During the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it is, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that dope?
It is. So I had heard something that scene was added in. Because originally, there's supposed to be a scene where the zombie that they see is Barbara's mom.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
You don't like that?
No.
Why not?
Because she was like buried.
Yeah. Okay.
And like most of the zombies, like the cadaver zombie that I liked a lot, he just popped right out of a casket, dude.
Yeah,
he wasn't even in the ground.
He wasn't even buried.
Yeah, he wasn't even buried.
Because I feel like...
I think a couple years down the road, or like a year down the road, okay. But
no.
The same day you're digging yourself out from a casket in 6 feet of dirt, not a fucking chance, dude.
How?
Not a fucking
chance.
chance.
How would you do that?
You wouldn't.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of these dead zombies that we're seeing in the movie are very recently dead buried people.
Yeah, because I asked you, were they all buried like in these clothes? Because some of these zombies had like t-shirts on.
Well, those were the people like I told you while we were watching it. I think they got bit.
And like a jean jacket.
Yeah, it's like what about the guy that had the knife in the belly?
Yeah,
it's like what did he just get stabbed in the street and then
just got murdered,
becomes a zombie
and woke back up.
Can't even get justice for the guy because he's now a zombie.
Oh, so speaking of which, so you said because when Ben comes out from
the cellar,
yeah. So you said is whenever you die, you turn into a zombie.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know because they don't really explain it in this because it's always like a confusion whether it's a parasite or like a bug or something.
Because the daughter got bit by something.
Yeah, she got bit by something.
So
but if you if you die, like the guy that got stabbed in the gut, like we're assuming, he got murdered on the street and then just woke up and was like, I'm gonna eat some people. So yes, Ben, because he died of natural causes, had the time to become a zombie in between when she left and when the rednecks got there.
That makes no sense though.
It's just a zombie movie, dude.
Yeah, but I need some type of logic.
Okay, but the dead coming alive makes more sense. Like the already dead? No, it works.
Is there a reason why they're back?
They don't explain it.
Also, I never understood the term "living dead." What does that mean?
They're because they're like moving and biting, so they're like living.
They're the living dead.
Yeah.
No, you're dead.
Or the undead,
which is living. Undead is literally just living.
Yeah, dude, I'm cool with it.
No.
It's Night of the Living Dead. Ooh, here's a little trivia for you. What was the original movie going to be called?
Night of the Flesh Eaters?
Yes. Good job. Of course you got that right.
All right, cool.
Yeah, other than that, it's just a zombie movie, bro. You got the boarding up of the house. You got people getting in. The fact... All right, what's the guy's... what's his name? The guy we hated. That character we hated.
Cooper.
Any of you guys that have seen this movie knows that Cooper is a top 10 shittiest character of all time.
Yeah.
He is worthless. He doesn't give a shit about anybody but himself, including his wife and his daughter.
It's kind of racist.
He's not kind of. Right out the gate, first scene with... I'm pretty sure that's the first scene with him in it.
Yeah.
He's like... I can't.
He says,
can't even.
You don't like a neighbor here either.
To Tony Todd, which is obviously the black character in the movie. Like, it's like, dude.
Ooh.
And then, like, two scenes later, he smacks the shit out of his wife. I'm like, cool, it's a racist wife beater. All right. We got that guy. Check. Yeah,
Who has the best death in the movie?
Yeah, that's where I was going, buddy. Yeah. That's where I was going.
He does.
So, even though, it's a remake, all this, blah, blah, blah. It was really, 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 really great.
Okay. I got something. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, that Barbara. For those of you that haven't seen it, if you haven't yet, please go watch it. It's like $3.99 on Amazon.
Yeah, dude, check it out.
You could probably buy it for like a nickel at a local store.
Worth it.
It's so worth it, dude. It's a classic. And this part in particular is really great because Barbara has been through the works. She survived. She goes back to the house. What's his name? Tony Todd's character?
Ben.
Ben gets killed, and then she turns and sees his character, and he's like, "Oh my God, you came back for me." She pulls out her gun and shoots him right in the head, looks back at the guys and goes, "Got another one, throw him in the fire."
It's funny because you mentioned during the movie that you would just kill that dude.
Yeah, I would have killed him like right out the gate, dude. There's people worth like fighting for survival wise. He ain't one of them.
He 100% was not. But now I remember.
And he's the reason that Tony Todd's character died. Ben's character? Ben.
I remember the ending now that Tom Savini, I think he had wanted.
It was like in the attic?
From what I remember, it was a scene of them burning the bodies. Mm-hmm. And it's Ben being tossed in the pile and Cooper being tossed on top of him. And both of them were like looking in her direction as they set the bodies on fire.
Ooh. I thought it had something to do with the attic.
Yeah. Or it could too, but that's very the ending scene.
The very end scene was that.
Yeah.
That would have been good. But I love this ending.
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, you were like shocked. Is this the first time you've seen this?
Yeah.
Me too.
I've never seen this
before either. Yeah, it was the first watch for me too.
But it was so surprising. I'm thinking, wow. Also, the dude had like the Pittsburgh Steelers hat on.
Yeah, the one that blows up.
He blew up? That's how he died? That was his girlfriend, the blonde chick.
No, so yeah, you remember how we were laughing that Tony Todd just yeets the stick on fire into the back of the, like, of all things, like he didn't try to get himself in there first. He throws a stick full on fire on a truck heading to a gas pump.
Yeah.
So when they get to the gas pump, you know that Tony Todd's character Ben had fallen off the back of the truck, and he's like, go get him, and he's like, she's coming back, he's coming back. Mm-hmm. Well, he realizes that they grabbed the wrong set of keys, which we find out at the end of the movie because Ben was in the basement, lit a cigarette, finds the key, right? Yeah. So the dude in the Pittsburgh hat got this genius idea because he couldn't unlock the lock. With a burning stick in the back of the truck, he's going to shoot the lock of the pump. Oh. And so when he shoots the lock of the pump, it yeets out some fuel, and they both go kaboomy. Oh. That's why they both died.
I thought the barbecue they were eating was her.
Both.
It was both of them.
Both of them.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah. They both turned into a nice barbecue for the zombies.
Well, that's just dumb.
Well done steak for them.
That's just dumb for both of them.
Very dumb. Very, very, very shitty way to go out, you know? You just almost survived a zombie apocalypse.
So, with zombies,
yeah, they're
not very strong, it seems like.
Other than the fact that they don't really feel pain, yes.
Yeah, they're not very strong. Well, they're dead. Of course they don't feel pain.
So the strength comes in, like, the ability to, like, breaking through those barriers because they're just so constant and the mass of them.
Okay.
Like, to get through the barricade that they put up, the doors and the wood.
Yeah, there's a group of them.
It's just constant.
I feel like one person can punch through a window and grab at you.
Yeah.
Well, there's like 12 of them.
Yeah, it's mass.
The whole frame is coming down.
Yeah, it's just mass overload.
My whole thing is, like when Barbara is saying, hey, let's just go out and just walk.
Yeah, because they're slow. So George A. Romero and Tom Savini decided to stick with the original zombie idea of literal walking corpses or dead people. They're not going to be fast. So her idea being like, let's just like jog past them.
So I feel like if you were an Olympic sprinter and you died, are you still going to just walk?
Yeah. I guess depending on the zombie movie, but yeah.
Well, that's a waste.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but I mean, so her plan ultimately worked. Is the whole thing?
Did it?
She survived by walking past the zombies. When she's walking, this kind of annoys me, but whatever. Mm-hmm. She was walking past the zombies, like cool. Yeah. Like she would point a gun at the zombie. Nah, I'm good. But then she saw the one with the baby doll.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what, but there was like that moment was actually something about the actress's personal life. And it was like a super good moment for her. I don't know if she had like an issue with a kid or...
Is it what?
Yeah. There's a whole like sub story to that part.
So the actress played Barbara.
Yeah, like the part where she shoots the lady in the head with the baby doll.
Yeah.
It had some deeper meaning. Couldn't tell you what it was.
Huh.
I forgot. I didn't write it down. It zoomed past when I was trying to listen to the thing I was watching.
Okay.
But
that scene was like, all right, well, one, do you have a baby doll with you?
Yeah,
she's the only person carrying anything with her. Like the entire movie.
Yeah.
The only zombie carrying something else.
And it was a baby doll. It wasn't an actual baby.
Was she a baby?
Do you think it was supposed to be a baby and we just didn't realize that it just looked super shitty?
There's no way with Tom Savini at the helm.
Yeah, you're going to have that.
We're going to have just a very plastic-looking baby doll.
Very true. He's very good at practicals.
Although, earlier in the movie, when Barbara's brother hit his head on that tombstone, that was very clearly a doll.
Okay, so the reason he went that route was because in the original one, the death wasn't ooh enough for him. So he wanted to give the audience a ooh factor, like an ouch factor. That's why he went that route with it.
It wasn't ooh enough for him. He hit his head.
In 1990, getting your head caved in by a zombie on a tombstone was pretty brutal. We don't have
on TV show hit their head on like tables.
Yeah.
Like the edge of a table and they're dead.
Yeah, well, it was a tombstone.
Yeah.
Well, Bill Moseley, the character that was the brother.
The great Bill Moseley.
The great Bill Moseley wasn't going to get tackled into a tombstone, so they had to use a dummy. Do you remember the scene with the uncle that fell off the stairwell?
Yeah, the big dude.
Big dude?
Yeah.
So you remember when she's beating him with the crowbar?
Yeah, dude, you can hear that's like something.
It's a doll.
Yeah, you can hear it though.
So they actually say that when it's like the fake sounding crowbar, she's hitting the actor. When the crowbar is actually heavy, it's a doll. So it's actually both. It's going from crowbar to doll.
What?
Yeah, they used a combination of both.
Why?
Dude, I don't know.
It looks and sounds exactly the same.
But that's what happened.
Okay. So she's using a fake crowbar.
Or she's using a real crowbar to hit a doll.
To hit a real person.
I might have made that part up. She's definitely using a real crowbar to hit a doll.
Yeah.
Because in the scene where she ultimately wins,
it sounds
rubber.
like something hitting rubber.
I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry, I misspoke. That was my bad. It was when she's actually going full force.
Yeah.
So Tom Savini, what we learned is that he's a big fan of using the actual weapons in scenes to show like physical brunt force.
Yeah.
It was hitting a doll.
Okay.
But he hoped that you couldn't tell the difference. But you can clearly, if you just fucking listen, that it's hitting like a...
Or just watch it.
Yeah. But in 1990, it probably looked really fun.
But although that effect works.
Yeah, it does.
Like, he used it in Friday the 13th, the original one.
Yeah.
In the scene, can't remember the girl's name, where she's killed with the axe.
Yeah.
So he shows
Alice.
A real axe.
Isn't it Alice?
No, Alice is the final girl.
Oh, sorry.
But this chick, he shows a real axe.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he swings down, it's the fake axe hitting her, obviously.
Yeah.
But he says showing the real thing first.
Always. I'm a big fan of that. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Because it's physical. Like the actor or actress that's using that weapon is going to actually have to use their force to swing said weapon. And I think it always looks more authentic that way.
Yeah, I used to do that like growing up.
Swing axes at people?
Not swing axes at people, but use that thing. So like with like a knife or a fork. So like I have a younger sister.
Yeah.
So I would let her see like the real fork.
Yeah.
Then as I'm coming at her, I let it slide down in my hand.
Yeah.
So when I hit her,
you're hitting her with your fist.
It's just my fist. But she saw a fork.
Yeah. So she's immediately like, I got fucking stabbed.
Yeah. It works.
Yeah. It's a mental thing too. I think for both, if you're using actors and actresses for both parts, it's going to come across more authentic.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So any other little tidbits you wanted to add?
Not really, no.
All right, let's get back to it, man. We haven't done this in a long time.
Okay.
It's been a while, guys. We haven't done a movie in a minute.
True.
We've done like themes and ideas and all sorts of stuff. So with that being said, Jake, on a scale from 1 to 10, what do you rate Night of the Living Dead 1990?
On a scale from 1 to 10, this movie is a 6.5.
Beautiful. I give it a 7.
Why?
I'm a zombie fan.
Okay, well, as someone who's not a zombie fan,
6.5 is solid.
It is solid.
Very solid.
So for you to be a zombie fan, only give it a 7.
Yeah. It's not a low score.
Is it not Compared to mine, it is low.
But I think that you appreciate this movie for being what it is, and I think that our ratings are very, very good for both of us. It's not a bad rating. It's a solid 7. It's just a little outdated.
Yeah, from 32 years ago.
Yeah. So that's it.
It's rare that movies from that long ago hold up anyway.
Yeah. And it's kind of slow.
It is slow.
Yeah. So, I mean, it keeps...
there were parts that I, like, paused it.
I was on my phone, dude, like, straight up scrolling.
Yeah.
A couple of parts.
Yeah.
Like, when they're just in the house, like, doing house shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was checking our J Squared horror email, bud.
I don't want to watch you nail a door to a window.
I'm pretty sure that was a good 15, 20 minutes of the film.
They were using so much time nailing things to the windows and doors.
So loud that's what brought this. Like, the reason they died was because of their plan.
Yeah.
If they just sat in the fucking house quietly without making much noise, the zombies would have never come by.
Why are you so loud over there?
Because they were scared. Fear does a lot to you, man.
That's like Cooper.
Yeah.
His character was, we discussed, was scared the entire time.
He was.
Didn't want to leave the basement.
Yep.
But then he ultimately died from coming out of the basement.
And Tony Todd would have lived if he would have just went to the basement.
That is true as well.
So the movie's just all sorts of twists and turns.
So I guess let me ask you this. If you were in that same situation, so you're there with the same group of people, you're just an added person, how would you handle that?
I've thought a lot in my 30 years of life about zombie survival.
Okay.
You know, I was a big zombie fan there for a while. Big.
Okay.
George A. Romero is like one of my heroes.
Okay.
So, my theory on surviving a zombie apocalypse is always height. High ground.
Why is that?
They can't climb. You saw it in the movie. That one tried to climb the house. It didn't work. He unplugged the power, but he didn't climb the house. So, my theory in surviving a zombie apocalypse is typically in like a townhome situation, 2-story townhome.
Yeah.
Barricading the stairwell so that they can't get up there. But if they do, to have a ladder out of a back window so you can get out. Worst comes to worst, but have all your food and necessities up there. They can't really get up there. Stay real quiet. You're going to survive.
For surviving zombies in this movie or zombies in general?
In general.
Okay.
So in this movie, I would have...
And this movie is flawless.
I would have went upstairs.
Yeah. 2 flaws with that, though. One... Was it World War Z?
That's rage zombies where they use their bodies.
Yeah, they're still zombies.
Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, they can climb
there
walls
were
and shit.
Thousands and thousands of zombies at that point.
Okay, you don't
in
think
this movie?
You don't think 20 zombies could have figured out how to climb a 2-story house?
No,
I do. Also,
not saying that my windows won't be barricaded up there anyway. So it's not like I'm just sitting up there with my fucking windows open. Like, it's going to be zombie proof, but height is my advantage.
Okay.
It buys me the most amount of time.
Yeah, but if you have to come out of that window.
I have an escape plan.
You don't have an escape plan.
I have a ladder.
To the ground?
Yeah, man.
Where the zombies are already?
Nah, they're trying to get in the house, so they're all distracted by that hole.
So they're all in one spot.
And plus, all right, so my...
Are zombies dumb? They have a brain.
No, they're fucking dumb,
They have a brain, though.
But they're not smart.
But they have a brain.
Because if you go off of this zombie theory, like this slow-moving zombie theory, the majority of the zombies that got inside that would ruin my barricade, a lot of them they follow suit. So if I go out that back window and say I have to deal with 5 of them, all right.
Oh, yeah. In this movie alone,
I could have survived this movie 100%.
On your own.
By myself.
Yeah, these zombies are dumb.
Without a gun.
Because zombies are dumb.
I could have survived Night of the Living Dead without a gun.
That's a bit much.
Nope. Guns are loud. They draw the zombies to you. You use a blunt object, and you're going to survive. And you get high.
Yeah, but you have to get close to use this blunt object.
That's worst case scenario. I'm not going out there to go fuck with zombies.
There were times where they got into the house.
Because they were on the first floor, bro.
Okay, but...
Think about it.
Okay, let's say you're still on the first floor with no gun.
I'm fine, dude.
You're not fine.
I personally am fine.
They're going to swarm you.
They're not, because I'm not going to be standing by a window nailing some boards up there so they can grab my neck. That's fucking stupid. I'm not going to turn my back and have a conversation for 10 minutes when a zombie breaks through and grabs me. I'm going to stay in the middle of the house to the top of the house, keep my eyes open. And I'm going to be fucking quiet, not banging around and turning on lights and shit. No way, dude. I'm a zombie survivalist, bro.
So
I've thought about this for years.
All these people who were turned into zombies, you think were just being loud as shit in their house and they just got attacked?
No, they weren't ready. They weren't ready, bro.
They were probably just watching TV and just hanging out, and then something bit them.
Nah, bro, I'm always ready.
Okay.
Always ready.
All right. So you think you would 100% survive?
This movie, yes.
Okay.
Without help.
Without any help at all?
Nope. Me alone. House done. Survive.
So you're in your house right now?
Yep. I'm surviving.
By yourself?
I'm surviving.
The exact same house?
In my house? Fuck you. I have the advantage,
Okay.
bro. I know every corner of the fucking house.
Let me rephrase it. A house you've never been in. So
98%
So
survival
the exact same house they were in, it's only you.
Oh, I survived.
And you, for some reason, have no guns.
Check it out, though.
And are choosing to not board up anything.
Check it out, though. So
You're a sitting duck.
No, I'm not. Think about it, dude. The reason they got surrounded by zombies the most was because they were being loud. Other than that, what'd they say? They said they saw 3 to 5 outside. I'm surviving 3 to 5 zombies 100% of the time.
Okay, or it could be.
I'm not going to make enough noise for a zombie to even want to go in the house, bro. And if they do get in the house, welcome to my world.
I don't think that noise attracts zombies.
Yes, it does.
I feel like.
Because there was a scene in this movie.
Other movies before, it's people just going to familiar places.
Yes, but
they walked into the house that already had zombies in it.
Yes, and I would survive that 100%. So if you're talking about a zombie fucking kind of like I've read books, dude. I fucking am obsessed with zombies, man.
Okay.
So listen, in this movie, I picked up on it. When they're banging on the house, there's an out scene where there's a lady zombie 100 yards from the house that goes, looks at the fucking house because they're banging on it with their fucking hammers, dude. The reason they got that many zombies was because they were being too fucking loud in surviving. All you have to do is get to a center location high up, survival, bro.
Yeah, but at that point, zombies are already coming
Also, I probably
in.
would have killed everyone in the house.
So
human or zombie.
So you have to board it up.
No.
Zombies are already coming in.
Go outside and take care of them. Go out the back door after you killed that first one.
You don't have a gun.
Bro, heavy objects, bro. The same things you're using for hammers.
You're going into
the same thing you're using for hammers. You use to bash in their brains, bro. I'm surviving.
Yeah, but that's a close radius.
No, listen.
Weapon. A hammer?
You get a distance. Yeah, I'm 6'2", my guy.
Okay.
I have a 3.
You got a 6'8" zombie. Now what?
I'm bashing his head in, bro.
He's 6'8".
He's not going to get me.
His arm length is
okay. We've already talked about it.
Is longer than
We've already talked about it. They're slow as shit. I get the advantage by being quicker than them and smarter than them.
You got to hit them more than once because we saw Ben, the dude outside with the crowbar. He hit him like 3-4 times in the head.
No offense to Tony Todd, but
God,
I'm gonna throw down that hammer and let him know what's up. So, I'm just saying.
So on the first swing, you're done.
Yeah, I'm Shaun
first swing.
I'm Shaun of the Dead now. I'm hitting shoulders and surviving, son.
All right.
I'm telling you, man. If zombies happen, find me, Jake. You will survive. I promise.
I would definitely have a gun.
I would have a gun as an absolute backup, but I'm not using it very often.
Then why have you not going to use it?
Because if I get into like a horde situation,
you said you wouldn't because they move so slow.
I'm saying way down the road, I'm walking to I'm walking outside of my house to find some milk and eggs or whatever. Not milk and eggs because they'd all be spoiled. Some bread or something. I don't know. Some non-perishables.
Yeah.
Some raviolis. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have my gun just in case. I'm just saying, in this exact same scenario, Night of the Living Dead, Josh Goodman survives 100% of the time.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, that was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, my gosh. Went over time a little bit, but it was worth it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Jake, where can they find us?
You can find us on, obviously, YouTube. Please like and subscribe. Also comment. We do like to hear your feedback.
We love the feedback.
You also can find us on Spotify.
Yep.
As well as on Instagram.
Yep.
J Squared Horror Podcast. Yes. Linktree in the bio. We do release episodes every Thursday.
Yep.
Except for last Thursday.
Yeah, we had a trivia night at a local coffee shop. That was a blast, and we were just too tired. We couldn't do it. We couldn't get the time to get a good episode out to you guys. And we're not going to put out bad content, so we decided to wait a week to put out this beautiful episode for you guys. thank you guys so much for all of our fans and supporters. Just to let you guys know, we are pretty much at the point to start selling some merch. We have a connection with Trademark Printing, I do believe it's called. They're doing our t-shirts for us. We're looking at $20 a t-shirt. Once we get them in, we will keep you guys posted on that. Big shout out to Jeff Balance, who did the design work for our logos. We have them everywhere. As you see Jake working on that sign back there, it's a beauty. My hat, the shirts we're going to be getting, all Jeff Balance, man. Jeff, thank you so much for doing our stuff. Lucky Riggs did the intro music. The full song is always after the episodes. It fits our podcast beautifully. Who knows? In the future, we might have a new one. Anything else you want to add, bub?
That is all.
That is all. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the J Squared Horror Podcast. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jake.
You guys have a good week. And remember, it's hip to be squared.